It's your perfume in the breeze.
Hi everyone, welcome to Perfume in the Breeze. Thank you for joining Boone and I here by the pool today. Today I have a fragrance to share with you by a company called Evody. I picked this up when I was in Paris on business from a charming perfumery called... But if it comes back to me, I'll let you know. Now, the company is called Evody and the fragrance itself is called Couleur Fauve, which means the colour of the Fauve movement. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. My French is what it is. As I understand it, the Fauve movement was a movement with was an art movement, like an epoch within art, and it features lots of plump nudes cavorting with each other, and it's very kind of, you know, buxom, toffee-coloured bodies, really, is one of the defining features of it, and that's that aesthetic is what inspired the creation of this fragrance. This is, in cold weather, absolutely exquisite. At least I thought so when I discovered it in Paris in February when it was bloody cold. But having taken it here to Florida, where it is currently 86 degrees, and I am clearly sunburnt to glory, I do not share the same opinion of it as I did when I first got it. Now, this was not a cheap fragrance at all. This was quite an expensive one. I think this ended up being about $300 or so. Can't have been any more than that. But I don't think it was that much less. I believe it was between $200 and $300. It was definitely, it definitely took some justifying. But why did I buy it in the first place? Because I'm not super into it right now. Why did I buy it? Well, hey Boone, what's up? Have a jump. Why did I buy it? Well, it is a very sexy fragrance in as much as it does smell very intimate. In cold weather, it came across as a very, very sexy, genuinely sexy, amber, kind of intimate, like the smell of the inner thigh of someone you love, or well, those days are long gone, because in this hot weather it's disgusting. Even one spray is too much. I find it smells like someone who needs a bath, someone who doesn't shower quite enough, someone whose personal hygiene is just a little bit behind where you wish it would be. And in cold weather that reads as intimate, very sexy and cozy and private, and in hot weather it just smells overripe, a bit oversexed and desperate, and not altogether pleasant. Now, although I absolutely do not recommend this for hot weather, in cold weather it is very, very, very sexy, and there's an element to it, certain musks, certain aromatic accords, that in hot weather are just putrid, but in cold weather are so glorious. And if you catch this on a cold breeze, if you're walking down a Parisian street or through a Nordic forest, let's say, and well, you're not likely to pass someone in a Nordic forest, but let's say you're walking down the street in Paris and somebody wears this and you catch it on the breeze, you might blush a little bit, because it smells, it's like, it's as if your lips have touched, or It's like passing a stranger and your hands accidentally brush, or being sat on public transport and your leg is up against someone else's leg and neither of you move it, and you're both kind of just aware that two strangers are touching and sharing an intimate moment. It's got all that kind of special intimacy to it. But it smells to me like, I don't mean this to sound misogynistic, which I know it will, but it sounds a little bit like the kind, a strumpet who might jump out of an oversized cake. And I don't really want to smell like that, so I rarely find myself reaching for this. And if I do, it most likely because I want to layer it with something. This does smell like a very distinctive part of a Thierry Mugler fragrance, and I'm trying to remember whether it's Alien or Angel. One or the other. Smells like a very specific part of that fragrance. Like if that fragrance was split into fifths. This is like it reminds me of maybe a fifth of that fragrance. That's not particularly illuminating or helpful, but if you do like Thierry Mugler fragrances, particularly the ambery side of them, or whichever one of those two that it's reminding me of, then you will love this because it's that without some of the other pyrotechnical craziness. Now, when I put this under my nose, it's compelling. I want to keep smelling it. It definitely has it's an animalic amber. It's got the dirt. It's got a slightly dusty labdanum quality to it. It has some interesting warm spices. I can definitely sense I can definitely sense some warm spices like cinnamon. This is potentially a nice fragrance for the fall, but under no circumstance is this a fragrance to wear in the summer. So if you live in a cold climate, the kind of climate where you can wear leathery fragrances and they smell fresh and brisk, and rather than a leather you would like an animalic amber, you will be very pleased with this. If you buy this anywhere where there is heat or humidity, you will feel very self-conscious wearing this, you will feel very embarrassed, and people will be judging you. At least that is what I would be doing if someone sat next to me wearing this in a hot climate. But, like I said, in a cold climate, this is exceptionally sexy, intimate, lovely, and if you like an amber that's not too sweet and that has that kind of sweaty thigh, let's say, feel to it, you might really like this. I think this is much more expensive than the other fragrances by the same company in the same range, and I think that, well, that must have to do with some of the animalic qualities that it has, at a guess. I will definitely not be buying this again unless if I move to Alaska or Kiruna or Tromsø or Narvik or somewhere in the far, far north, then I might end up getting through the bottle. But I think that this is going to last me probably for the rest of my days. Indeed, I am probably only about 1/6 of the way through this bottle, maybe even, about 1/6 of the way. So this is going to last me for a long time. It's very, very strong juice. So one spray is plenty, believe me. And I think this performs better on skin than on fabric, purely because it might make the fabric smell a little dirty, whereas on skin it would just smell intimate. So that's really all I have to say on the matter. Couleur Fauve by Evody. I hope you have enjoyed this review. I would invite you to press like should you desire. you're welcome to press subscribe. I have many more videos to come. I have a large collection of fragrances and I'm very excited to share them with you. If you enjoy my tastes, then you might find some goodies that will enrich your life and improve the experience that anyone else around you has of you. But I do have very specific tastes. In the cold, I love leathery fragrances, and all times of the year, I love me a good oud, especially a stinky one. So check out the rest of my fragrances. The rest of my fragrance reviews. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and I would invite you to visit zhivagofragrances.com. There's a company that I do some work for. It's not this company, it's the company. They create fragrances in very much in the spirit of timeless beauty, timeless elegance. So especially if you're looking for something very refined for a lady, especially if you're looking for a gift, we have some fantastic fragrances in really stunning, award-winning bottles. You should check them out. There's a link and a discount code down there in the description. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope to see you again. Bye.